this is Kay from KDigitalStudio, and today I'm doing a video on a flip through of my own digital planner. This was a well requested video, so I'm super excited to finally be filming it. If you are new here, welcome. I'm glad you could join me in watching this video. If you watched my previous videos, I'd like to thank you for further supporting me by watching this one. I have a digital planning group that I would love for you to join if you're interested and want to connect further with people who have the same interests in digital planning and digital design. My planning group and my Etsy shop is always listed either somewhere in this video or it'll always be in the description below. Feel free to follow me on Instagram as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started into my digital planner for the year. I have switched over to the new GoodNotes 5 app. There was the GoodNotes 4 app, and then they just recently released the GoodNotes 5 app. If you've purchased GoodNotes 4 before the 5th app came out, you are likely to be eligible for a free upgrade. That or you have to pay the difference if you paid a little bit cheaper for GoodNotes 4. So because GoodNotes 5 is still relatively new, it's still likely to have a lot of bugs and be kind of laggy, so bear with me if it takes a while for some of my pages to load, because that is something that I have been experiencing since switching over to GoodNotes 5. So this is the app that I use essentially for all my digital planning needs. As you can see, it recently just pulled up the last thing I was working on in GoodNotes 5, which was my university notes. So I will click off of that. And this is the last page that I was working on in my digital planner. So as you can see, I have relatively busy weeks being a full-time undergrad at UNC. So this is kind of how I have my GoodNotes 5 set up. I have my classes in different folders, and then I kind of just have my extra stuff that doesn't really fit into an undergrad folder just kind of floating out, which I'm perfectly fine with. So we're going to start from the front. So this is what my planner looks like. The very front of my planner looks like, at least. This is a planner that I have listed in my shop. However, they will soon be discontinued. So if you're interested in purchasing this planner, then jump on it because they won't be in my shop for very long. And the reason being is that this planner features my older rings that I recently created. I've since gotten a lot better at drawing my rings and designing rings, so I hope to release more planners using those rings. So I want to discontinue this one since it features the older rings. I do have a video on how to design and draw essentially your own planner binder rings, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. I'll link it somewhere down below as well. So this is my planner. It's in the pop of purple color scheme that I curated. So yeah, this is just my planner. This is 2019. I have my monthly tabs from January to December down here. I have the front tab, this year tab, extras tab, and then I have 6 tabs that will come blank if you were to purchase this planner that I've just entitled Finances, Wellness, Collections, University, Projects, and Stickers. Now I do have a separate sticker book where I organize all my digital stickers and my digital creations, but this tab features some of my favorite stickers. So easy access in this planner at least. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look at my front tab. So my front tab just gives you a place to essentially just kind of write your name, maybe decorate the front cover or whatever. So I just have my name written here. And then going into, this year tab, the year. So I do have this planner undated in my shop, so if you were to purchase this page will be blank. I don't necessarily use this that much because it's not really pertinent to me. I need to know kind of like a day by day, hour by hour essentially as a student, so I don't really use this that much, but it's nice to kind of have in the front of my planner. And then going into the extras tab, so this is a place where I have pre-built templates that you can copy and paste anywhere in your planner, and I also have a section for you to create and index your own. So I have a daily plan page, vertical Monday and Sunday start weeklies, as well as quadrant Monday and Sunday start weeklies, and I also include a monthly template with a habit tracker. And then I have blank pages for dot grid, quad ruled, lined, and just a blank white page. And then I have a place for you to index your own again. So just kind of going into what the daily pages look like, or the pre-built templates look like. This is the daily page. It gives you times from 6 to 9. It has the priorities and note box. It just gives you a place to just kind of get started with your dailies. And then this is going into the weeklies. So there's Monday, Sunday, a different theme. This is the quadrant Monday, quadrant Sunday. And then this is the monthly template that includes the sidebar habit tracker. So the blank templates for the months do not include this habit tracker, because I know not everyone wants a monthly view of their habit tracker. So if you do, you can copy and paste this and replace it for one of the regular monthlies that come with it. So, and then here's the dot grid. I don't know if you can see that well since they're just white. Quad ruled, lined, and just blank white. And then we'll also take a look at some of the templates that I've already built and indexed on the front extras page. So then I have a quadrant Sunday start with timestamp. This is absolutely my favorite layout, and hopefully I'll make a video on how to create this layout, but I prefer Sunday start. I don't really know why, I just do. So this is my most used weekly layout, as you'll see later in this video. I have kind of like a little sidebar here for the days, and so I also have my little key for the highlights, so I can come in here and I can highlight. So let's say I have anthropology from 11 to 12. I can highlight 11 to 12 and know exactly what to do at what time, essentially. I also have down here habits that I want to utilize more. I guess I want to be more cognizant of how I'm working as far as my classes go. I'm really trying to stay on top of things and not study and cram last minute like I usually do, which isn't very effective, let me say. So this is a place for me to just track my university related things that I want to see every day during the week. So I highlight those as I finish them. I also have these little checklist tabs where I just kind of write assignments due, events coming up, appointments I have. And then these little flags right here are where I actually kind of draw or write what dinner I would have or be cooking that day. So yeah. And then I just pull in numbers, the date dots. I can pull in different pictures and stuff and decorate it how I want. But this is kind of the basis of my template. Going back to extras, I have one more extra that I did index, and this is the vertical half-hour weekly. This is something I was experimenting with as well, because I really need to know, like, essentially down to the minute what I'm doing each day. So that's kind of what I did, and these are in half-hour increments, which apparently is not good enough. I need stuff in quarters for my classes, but I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I really like this template. This is something I made in Keynote, so if you're interested in how I made this as well, that'd be awesome. And then, again, here are some of the habits I have down below. So that's my extras tab. So let's go ahead into my finances tab. This is my finances tab. I put this on the main divider because I think this is essentially the most important thing I need to see. Oops, didn't mean to hit the camera. I think this is essentially the most important thing I need to see whenever I first open my finances tab. I need a visual of where I'm standing for that month or those months. So I created these kind of little, I don't know what you would call them, like increment bars, to just kind of give me a visual of how much I spend and where my money is going. So I created this from January to June was my intention, but seeing that I do spend a lot of money because I do have to make expenses from like my apartment, I have to I have to buy groceries. I do have a lot of appointment bills because I do see my doctors fairly regularly. So this probably is most likely definitely going to change because I do spend quite a lot. So I do have like bills and payments, groceries and food, retail and entertainment services, and miscellaneous, where it doesn't really fall in these four categories. So yeah, this is kind of where I'm standing. And then I have a spending tracker. This gives me the opportunity to write down my expense, the price, the category it falls in, and how I felt about it. I do make some purchases that I regret, so I like that I included this column because it gives me a chance to kind of reflect on my purchase, which I've gotten a lot better about my money since doing this. So I haven't updated this in a while, but yeah, this is my spending tracker. And then again, I was pretty bad with my money, at least last year. I've been a lot better now, which has been a New Year's resolution for me at least. So I created this layout, and it was inspired by something I saw on Pinterest. So I kind of took it and did my own little spin on it. And yeah, so this is just kind of, you know, like, don't spend money on stupid shit, otherwise we will be sad, essentially, is what this layout is getting at. So I can kind of see what days I'm spending. If I do a great job at this, then I have like little rewards to spend money on like fiscally responsible purchases. And I do have rules and obligations. So like I have to put a certain amount away with each paycheck and whatnot. So I have that. But yeah. And then in this page, which is still in my finances tab, I kind of have a savings jar and a want and need list. I did this in my paper bullet journal, so I was really excited to mimic this in my digital planner as well. So I just have my savings in this little jar, which is pretty exciting. And then I have my own like want and need list that I created. So yeah, I mean, that's essentially what this is. I haven't really updated this in a long time, so a lot of this stuff is a little bit outdated. And then we're moving into my wellness tab of my planner. This was a freebie by someone in one of the digital planning groups on Facebook that you can join, because there's plenty out there. So this is just kind of a master trigger list. It's kind of helping you organize and like get shit done, really. So I felt like this deserved to go under my wellness tab, because I feel the more organized and on top of things I am, the more the better I feel, essentially. So I did put this under my wellness tab. And then moving further into my wellness tab, this is my January mood tracker. I have my mood trackers in separate tabs of my planner, as you can see in the wellness tab. So I just created this little box so I could reflect on the previous year, as well as write down my goals for the new year. And then I have this leaf, and I'll color in the different petals of how I'm feeling each day. As you can see, I still haven't had time to just kind of go in and update a few things, which is completely fine. I can do that in another video, but this is essentially my mood tracker. And as you can tell, I'm having a pretty good month, which I'm pretty excited about. Going further into the wellness tab, I have a section to reflect on what I'm grateful for. I did intend to do this every single day, but then I realized that wasn't practical, because sometimes I can't take time away from my day to at least write down what I'm grateful for. But I can at least think about it, and I do think about it every day. But on especially good days, and sometimes especially bad days, I'll just take time to reflect and at least write what I'm grateful for, and it's kind of fun to go back and look, despite only having 3 here. But I have this, and I've already had 3 that I filled out, and then I have another page behind it to write more. This tab, I kind of have my goals for 2019. I did write my goals on the previous wellness page, where I have my mood tracker, but I felt like if I dedicated a whole page to it, I'd be more willing to accomplish said goals. So these are just a few of my goals that I have. As you can see, I still need to think of some more goals to put in here, but these are the main ones, at least, that I hope to accomplish. So now we're moving into my collections tab. This is the divider page that I created, a freebie from one of the groups that I colored in the app called Procreate. My intention was, whenever I finish a book, to kind of write down the book title, so I can just kind of have a track of what I've been reading during 2019. But I put this on the main divider page that I created, just because I kind of want to get more back in tune with reading for leisure, at least. Further into my collections tab, as you can tell, this is an unfinished page, but my intention here was to write down all my favorite hex codes, since I've gotten involved in digital design and digital planning, I do have favorite hex codes now. And then under the collections tab, because it really doesn't have a good place anywhere else, is my grocery shopping list. I do live in an apartment with my significant other, and trying to get groceries and decide who cooks that day and whatnot can be pretty stressful. So I created this grocery shopping list because I hate forgetting stuff at the grocery store, and that was happening so often. So I had fun creating this kind of page where I could write down stuff we needed and check it off as we get it. And this is something I could sync and pull up on my phone, so I don't have to bring my iPad to the grocery store. So again, this isn't updated because we've been to the grocery store since then. Just to get a few things here and there. We haven't had a major grocery shopping visit since this date, but yeah, so these fonts are all something that you can download, and these fruits are freebies from Liz Kohler Brown, if I'm saying that correctly, and these are just tabs that I created in Procreate. So next, behind this tab, which is kind of intuitive, is my meal planning template. This is something I created and is a freebie in my freebie drive. You can access the freebie drive by joining my digital planning group, and then you'll have access to over 20 freebies that I created for personal use. So this is something I created. It won't come with the fruits or the squares, but you'll get the basis of the template. And this is something that I like using whenever I'm trying to plan out who is cooking for the week and who is cooking what for the week. So that's kind of fun. And then for these purple squares, I do live off campus. Again, I live in an apartment, and the apartment's a good 10 to 12 minutes away from campus, so I write in these squares what I'm packing for my lunch that day. So now moving into my university tab, this is my semester planner, where I was going to write the course name and the number of credits and the days and times and rooms where those classes meet. But as you'll see, I have another place for this, but this just gives me more concrete, direct way of seeing it, but I have yet to put those things in, even though I've been a few weeks into the semester already. So this is what I was talking about. This was my weekly schedule where it says the classes and the days and times that we're meeting. This schedule has changed so much that I almost don't recognize this one. All my classes are the same, but the days that I'm working and the days that I volunteer are very different, and there is also a few activities that are not on this weekly list. So this is something, again, that I made in Procreate. So yeah, Procreate and Keynote. This is also a study techniques page that I created. I watched a lot of different study technique videos to try and find the best study techniques that has research to back it up. And so I took what I found, I kind of put my own twist on it to make it fit the classes that I was taking this semester, and this is something that I track during the week, which you'll see, so, and which you have already seen too. So this is my study techniques page. And then going into my projects tab, I have this brain dump page where I thought this was kind of a fun visual way for me to write down my dump lists, essentially. As you can tell, I'm a very visual person with my digital planner. So my intention was to just draw a line and just kind of write my little brain dump note there, which is pretty fun. I use this a lot in December, so I'm happy to bring it over into my planner for 2019. And then I am the co-director of a nonprofit organization on campus that brings high schoolers from all across the state, and they come for the weekend to learn about social justice issues and how to be activists in their own hometowns and locations. So it's pretty stressful. I'm working with a lot of students. I have to manage students and kind of classroom management and leadership and how to have good discussions, constructive discussions. So I just have my deadlines, my priorities, who we should use, stuff about our students, and stuff I shouldn't forget to do. This is just a very basic layout. This is something I created when I knew I really needed to just kind of make categories for myself of what to prioritize and whatnot. So this is just a very basic page that I created. And And again, this is another very basic template I created just for my purposes. So I have like my priorities of things I should do, my future goals and hopes for my projects. I have a YouTube box, an Instagram box, a Facebook box, and an Etsy box. And this is kind of just where I write my ideas and my projects. It used to be really full. I've done a lot of stuff in the past few weeks that I'm pretty proud of. So still working on some things. So yeah. And then I have a projects page for video requests. So whenever someone requests a video and it's pretty popular, I'll put it down on here. And then I'll check off as I film them. So if you have any video or tutorial requests, feel free to leave them down below, and you just might see it in my planner the next week. And then this is my last tab. This is my favorite stickers tab. My favorite stickers, or at least the stickers that I use the most. So as you can see, I have quite a bit of my Bitmoji. I love putting her throughout my planner. It's really fun. And these are some that I created that you can purchase. Others are just freebies or free royalty images I found on the internet. So cool beans. So now we're just going to go ahead and move into my January tab for now. So this is the monthly that I created for January. I decorated this myself using Procreate and Keynote. I have my monthly tracker kind of in an odd place because I didn't want to use a sidebar for this month. So again, I haven't filled out all my habits and whatnot. And this is just gives me a kind of an overview for the month, because I don't really use a monthly view, as you'll come to find out as we continue to flip through this. So moving on, we have my first week of January. This used to be my favorite weekly layout, but then I found something more practical that worked better for me as a student. But this was before I started. I just kind of jot a few things down, decorate pretty minimally. If you're interested in anything specific about my pages, comment that down below and I'll be able to further address you. Just to save time and for the sake of not pointing at each individual thing and saying where I got it or how I made it. So this is moving into the first week where I had my classes. As you can see, I switched my weekly setup. I kind of decorated it a bit. I colored in between the boxes. And you can see how I use this weekly layout. So here I am highlighting for different appointments or dates. As you can see, this is where I write my dinner that I cooked that night, or that we will be eating that night if my significant other cooks it. And yeah, this is moving into last week. As you can see, it got significantly busier because I'm starting to really get into the semester. So yeah, this was last week, pretty busy. And then this is this week, like a lot less because we didn't have class Monday, and I didn't plan Sunday because I did all my planning for Saturday, but in reality I did most of these things on Sunday too. I just didn't recopy it. So yeah. And then this is my plan for next week. I've kind of already done a little bit of planning for next week, but this is what I have at least for next week. So this is moving into my February tab. I do have February already decorated. I can't remember if I have March decorated or not, but we can look. So this is something that I created using elements from my Valentine's Day kit on Etsy. So if you're interested in anything that you see on this page, it's available in the kit, which is pretty exciting. So this is my monthly overview. I switched to the habit tracker down the side. I have my month down here. I found out that I kind of like this a lot better than how I organized January, so I'm probably going to continue this. But yeah, this just gives me an overview. Again, I don't really use this as much as I do my weeklies. So these are weekly templates that I had already created for February. However, I'm in the process of switching over to the favorite weekly template with the timestamp that I've shown you previously multiple times throughout the video. This used to be my favorite template, but I have switched to a more practical template for me as an undergrad. So you're going to see a lot of these templates that I've already created but have yet to switch out. And most of everything that you see on these weekly pages are available in that Valentine's Day kit if you are interested in using them for yourself. I did create March. So I guess I did create March. As you can see, I haven't gotten very far in decorating it at all, which is fine. Kind of have a slight green theme going, but we'll just continue flipping through this planner and see what we find, because I totally forgot about a lot of this since it's not March yet, or any month besides January for that fact. Looks like I already have April. Again, a little less decorated because those months aren't super close just yet. February more so than the others. Here's May. I guess I might have done all the months, truthfully. Okay, so it stops at May. So I've gone all the way up to May, which is probably because I wanted to write down when I have my final exams and very pertinent due dates that I need to keep in mind. So this is just kind of a flip through of my planner. I'm so glad that you watched this video with me. If you have any questions about specific things in this planner, feel free to comment those down below. Try and be as specific as you can. It's not very realistic of me to point out each thing and tell you where I got it or how I made it, because I do use a combination of things that I created or things that other people were giving away for free for personal use. So I can point you in the direction of them if that's something that you like of theirs, or I can tell you how to make or get some of the stuff that I created. So feel free to comment that down below if you see something that you liked in this video. Again, you can purchase this planner in my digital Etsy shop for a very limited time, or you can check out the other digital planners that I have up in my shop as well if you want to get more involved in this, or if you kind of like my design. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any video requests, don't forget to leave those down below as well, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye!